Hey, what's up, guys? This is Wyatt with Shardly Playable, coming at you with a deck concept. This is Hoenna Kyte Post Echoes of Hokken. So, I know everybody's all hyped up about new champions and stuff like that, but I think it's good to look back at some of these old decks and see the bump they got. Hoenna Kyte was a big one sticking out for me. I think it really got a huge bump with this set, and I think it has a lot more competitive viability than before. Not saying it wasn't good before, but saying it's significantly better now, in my opinion. So I'm going to go over some new ratios and new stuff that would be used with this new set. Currently, this deck is 42 cards. We are looking to alter a few things. As you can tell at the moment, Vengeance isn't in here. I'd like to find room for Vengeance and cut down to 40, hopefully. But again, we're still in the testing process with this deck. So we'll start with the green package. First thing naturally being, we have the one Garga, Keeper of Gales. We have our one Sophia. And we have our three Evs. 3 of Abriel's Gift, and 3 Ravaging Rhinoceros. I think this deck is huge in this. Once per turn, pay 1, return another unit you control to its owner's hand. Place plus 500 counter on this card. So, obviously, in a deck full of Arrive abilities, the fact that you can just return units to your hand and replay them, it's great. You can spam cards out of your opponent's hand with Avarice. You can reuse Archaeologist, which we'll get to in a little bit on her. And you still have other stuff. You got Visitors, you got Demon of the Evil Eye, you have Dalen's a big one. Then you also have like Golem of Allurement, and if we can find room, hopefully Golem of Vengeance. Alrighty. Another big thing to note with this card is that the returning another unit you control to your hand is a cost. So if you go to, say, return your Sylphia to your hand, they're not going to have that window to try to, say, Corona Shard to your Sylphia because it's already going to be in your hand at that point. Next thing we'll go to the Argent Cards. We have 2 Bone Scavenger. I'd like to play 3, but this deck is very, very tight on space. We have 1 Eccentric Visitor. Again, in an Arrive ability deck where we're able to constantly reuse Arrive abilities. It is very great. Alrighty, and then we got Rudy. Again, deck is so Arrive ability oriented. So off of Rudy, you're either going to get multiple cards out of your opponent's hands, you're going to get search multiple augments. You could theoretically trigger Visitor twice. Say you have like Corona Shard up and your Spirit's face down. You could go play Visitor, trigger it twice, let the first one resolve it comes up. Before the second one resolves, Corona Shard something, and then let it resolve for it to go up again. Alrighty, and then the last of the Argent cards we have is Hokken Archaeologist. I think this is the biggest buff to this deck. It's my reasoning behind playing the 3 Delayed Poisons. Arrive, you search your deck for a non-location augment and add it to your hand. If you do, put a card from your hand on the top of your deck. Alrighty. So, this card's fantastic. I mean, first off, you're able to search Delayed Poison with it, so it's an instant, and this card's an instant out to a lot of big units you might have problems dealing with. And insanely enough, it can search Hidden Lab, which is the heart and blood of the Hoenna deck. It's what keeps your consistency up. It's what keeps your card advantage up whenever you're going to lose golems, being able to sack him to draw instead of just losing him to no advantage. The card's just generally great. So being able to search this and the fact that it's a unit that, like, again, you can trigger it twice with Rudy. You can play Yami to bring it back and activate its ability. You got endless different options. You can put it back to your hand with the Rhinoceros. You have essentially, in most consistent games, you're consistently going to be able to get to 3 Hidden Lab, which before for Hoenna was not really a thing, so that's fantastic. Next thing, we're going to go into the dark cards. We're going to start with Melante's Gaze. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be Malinite, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyways, look at your opponent's hand. You may choose a non-unit card among them with cost 2 or less. Your opponent discards that card. So, this is great against decks that play heavy spells. It's fantastic in Hoenna mirror matches. The fact that you could potentially look at their hand and discard a Hidden Lab, that's just blatantly game-changing right there. Then we got the standard 3 Yami. So you can, again, use this. You can bring back Avarice, triggering Avarice again. You can bring back your Visitor. You can bring back Archaeologist. You can bring back the Rhinos to recycle stuff on your field. Naturally, you can bring back Dalen. Lots of good stuff. And then we'll go with the Hoennes Wrath. Probably one of the best, if not the best, board wipes in a game. It's a guaranteed minus 2k to everything else on the field. If you have enough counters on Hoenna, or if you have other golems already sitting on the field, it can be even more damage to other units, and it only does the damage to non-golem units. So in your deck, that you still have a few things that can hit. That can hurt your rhinos. That can hurt your Rudy. That can hurt your archaeologists. There are a few things you can hurt with it, but overall, if you're playing this at the right time, you're definitely going to be gaining significantly more advantage than your opponent will. Which I'm sure anybody who plays in the metagame, they know Hoennes Wrath is one. It's definitely one of the best cards of Hoenna. I still think the best card in Hoenna is Dalen. The best three of being Hidden Lab, but Hoennes Wrath is easily a close second in my opinion. Alrighty, more things to talk about. 3 delayed poison. It's a searchable augment now. Obviously, this can have bad impacts against decks that play Wind Spirits and are able to main Zephyr Crystal. You could end up going on a -1 if you don't play it at the right time. But if you're able to play it against decks when they're either tapped out or they're just decks that blatantly don't play those spirits, then it's a simple one of that can get rid of large units, which gives you that essential mana advantage. If you're, say, getting rid of a 4-drop unit with your 1-drop card, you're gaining advantage even if you're not gaining specifically card advantage. One of's Dalen. Don't really need to explain Dalen. That's easily the best card in the deck. You can bring out big units. You can put enough counters on Hoenna to instantly make it a golem. Yeah, simple stuff. We got the 3 Felled Golem 1, 3 Golem of Devourment, and 3 Golem of Avarice. Other ones we have Demon of the Evil Eye, and we have Golem of Allurement. So again, I would really like to find some room to get into Vengeance and drop a couple of things. We're putting this deck through a lot of testing, but I'm sure much like everybody else with a new set, there is a lot of testing going on, a lot of different decks being played. You got a lot of new stuff coming in. There's new cards that add engines to old decks like this. You got many new dark cards that's going to bring back Serpio. You got the new champions. You got the dinosaur one. You have Hadir. Hadir is going to be definitely a big thing going forward in the metagame. So we're going to do a few more of these videos in the future talking about different decks and what we feel like is going to define this meta. But for now, that is all. So thank you for watching, and you guys have yourself a great day.